Georgia is a very interesting a country ruled by a pro-West president and a pro-Russia prime minister. In Western media, you will see such reports about Georgia. They say massive anti-Russia protests are happening in the country. However, there is the right side of the story. Now, pro-Russia and anti-EU protests are taking over the country. Let's discuss more about Georgia in this video. Hi and welcome, you're watching Outright. We tell you the right side of the story. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for such outright videos. A country, especially one as small as Georgia, remains sovereign as long as it keeps peddling the narrative set by US and its allies. The moment you start taking control in your hands, an undeclared war is imposed on you. This is exactly what is happening in Georgia. The country is ruled by a party called Georgian Dream party. Western media calls it a pro-Russia party. The country is a parliamentary democracy, so the prime minister has all the real powers. Now, last week the country's parliament passed a bill called the Foreign Influence Transparency Bill. So, what was this bill about? The bill required any person or organization that receives funding from abroad to register as a foreign agent. Interestingly, the authors of the bill say this draft is inspired by USA's own Foreign Agents Registration Act. As soon as this bill was passed, massive pro-EU and anti-Russia demonstrations broke out in the country. They said the government would use this bill to silence critics and suppress opposition. The protesters also drew a comparison between Georgia's Foreign Agents Act and the Russian Foreign Agent Law. Were those protests genuine? The government says no. The ruling party blamed radical forces for leading the country's youth into illegal activities. Pro-Russia groups in the country went a step ahead. They claimed it was an attempt by US to organize a coup in Georgia. The protests continued for a week and finally the government caved in. The government withdrew the bill. But the ruling party said it was not abandoning the law. It will show up later. And now a week later, we are witnessing a series of pro-Russia protests in the country. EU flags are being burnt. EU flags were removed from the country's parliament. Here is the video. Well, too much politics here. Let's talk about what do the people of Georgia want. Are they pro-Russia or pro-West? Well, we have data from an opinion poll, but it's from a pro-West portal, so take it with a pinch of salt. The poll conducted in August last year says 47% of Georgians support pro-West policies, whereas 40% of people believe they should have good ties with Russia. As far as Russia-Ukraine war is concerned, the government of Georgia has taken a neutral stance. It has not condemned Russia. It did not give military aid to Ukraine. In fact, the chairman of the ruling Georgian Dream party, Irakli Kobakidze, has fiercely given anti-West statements over the last 1.5 years. He made only 9 comments critical of Russia, but a total of 57 negative remarks about the West and 26 about Ukraine. This could be a major reason why US and the West are taking so much interest in Georgia. They are desperate to stop the country from being a pro-Russia territory. They want to turn Georgia into next Ukraine to pile misery on Moscow. But the country's leaders are not nincompoops like Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky. As of now, the West is seemingly dominating the scene at Tbilisi. But the government of Prime Minister Irakli Garibashvili looks in no mood to bow down.